Hi-ho, folks, and welcome back to the adventures of Turwinkle, the Gnome Mage. Well, hi, Turwinkle.
Salutation.
Are you all set for tonight, sir?
Indubitably.
Well, excellent, because tonight we are going to go and talk with Stiches from the Defilers of Arathor, a wonderful role player over on Emerald Dream, and we're going to find out all about his role play, a little bit about him, and get some advice for you new role players out there. So without further ado, let us go and talk with Stiches. Alrighty, folks, well, as you can see, we made it safe and sound to the scepter here in Silverpine Forest. And so let us see if we can find him. And oh, yep, there he is. So we'll run over here. And let's avoid the avoid stepping on somebody's grave, because that's bad luck. And hello, sir.
Greetings.
Well, it is so nice of you to take the time tonight to talk to us all about your role play.
The feeling is mutual.
So you are Stiches, and you are a level 100 rogue, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, excellent. And folks, if you haven't seen Stiches before, do check him out also in the interview with the Defilers of Arathor, because that is the guild in which he resides at the current time. And still loving the Defilers, sir?
Absolutely. I was with them the second time they were around, and I missed them dearly when they were gone.
All right, excellent. So, folks, when we come back, we are going to start talking all about Stiches and his wonderful roleplay. So we'll be right back as we begin that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And so the first question, sir, is, I guess, well, how long have you been role-playing in World of Warcraft?
I'd probably say about 2 years. I tried doing it in another server, Silverhand, and just the RP community was vacant there, and so I came over to Emerald Dream and actually found a healthy community within this realm.
Oh, excellent. And so why did you choose Forsaken as a race?
The Forsaken, for me, I just love the lore and the backstory of the Forsaken. Me personally, I've always been kind of a sucker for the misunderstood, the victims. I see them as victims, that they were like robbed of their resting in peace, so to speak.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, and they really are. And for me, one of my favorite storylines. So excellent choice. And you're also playing a rogue. Is there a reason behind that, sir?
It was the only class that really I found a niche in. I mean, I've tried playing other classes and stuff. Like I'm terrible at playing a caster. I can't kite for anything, and just the class fits my mindset. I like to plan out my attacks before I do it, and it just fits me personally.
Now, the name Stiches, how did you come up with Stiches?
How I came up with the name Stiches was, if I try to think back as long as I've been playing the game, there was always this character, I remember on the Alliance side, named Stiches, that Abomination in Darkshire. Do you remember him?
Right.
And it was just a feeling of nostalgia with that name. I just remember that character back in like the day when, everybody was level 20, leveling up to 60, and or remembering how we used to have to like get groups together and try to take that guy out and stuff, and that's my fondest, oldest memory of the game.
All right, well, excellent. And so, folks, when we come back, we're going to find out the story line behind the character Stiches. We're going to find out all about him. And so we will be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And so, Stiches, what would you consider your role play style to be? Are you a heavy, medium, light role player? Are you a multi-paragrapher? What's your style?
I would consider myself kind of a heavy role-playing style. Like, I hardly ever break character unless, like, I'm in a battleground, so say.
Alright, do you do a lot of emotes? Are you, do you maybe adapt your role play to the other player? Are you a reactionary role player?
I'm a little bit of both. I mean, I do emotes and stuff like that, but, Stich's character is, he's mysterious. He's his name is Stiches the Sly.
Right, so let's get into a little for those of you folks out there know what we're talking about, we're going to get a little OOC here, and we're going to dig into the history. And so you'd only find this out if Stiches told you in character, but we're going to dig a little bit into that. And so, sir, what is the storyline behind Stiches?
In life, Stiches' name was Lee of Draven. He was a thief, and he lived in this very land in Silverpine. He was like a poor, lowly thief. He never married. He had a mother and a father. His constant brushes with the law is what ultimately ended his life.
Oh, so was he caught by the law and then hung or executed?
Yeah, he struck out. He was even in one of my backstories. He was even branded with the mark of the thief, and he just never learned his lesson. He had to keep his family fed.
Okay, so doing the wrong thing for the right reasons then.
Yeah.
All right, excellent. And so now, when you started the character Stiches, did you already have the story in mind, or did you just start did you roll up the Forsaken Road and then form the story around that, or again, did you have that story in mind already?
The story evolved. It started evolving whenever I started playing with certain people. You know, like I call it like a parasitic kind of role player where I feed off of other people with inspiration. Oh,
excellent. Excellent. And you know, there's nothing wrong with taking excellent roleplay ideas and utilizing them in your own roleplay. And that's, I think, what's great about the roleplay community is that we all do in some way do exactly that, is kind of take a little bit from this and a little bit from that to form our own storylines, our own story arcs. And so that's great. So folks, when we come back, we're going to go over, now do you use MRP or TRP, sir?
TRP3.
Okay, so when we come back, we are going to talk to Stiches about his TRP3. So we'll be right back with that. All right, folks, and we are back. Now, Stiches uses TRP3. He used to use TRP2. But as we are cross-realmed, we can't read that. But let us say, for instance, that we could, Stiches. Now, if somebody clicked on you and was looking at your TRP3, what would they see, sir?
Well, they would see my title, Stiches the Sly, and it would say that I'm a senior sergeant, and say that I'm an undead thief, and I'm the lieutenant of the Defilers. And my current information says the Master Thief has one favor among his brothers in the Defilers of Arathor, and he is now second in command of the Apothecary Society.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, how long did it take you to get to that rank?
It took me about 2 weeks. You know, I showed commitment. They knew me from before when they were around in the past and stuff. But I started as a loyalist like everybody else, and worked my way back up to second in command and an officer.
Now, for Stiches, is this a source of pride?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a dedicated player. I'm really proud of what we do in Defilers of Arathor. I'm committed. I'm out at all the events and stuff, and I always like to bounce ideas back and forth with the other RP writers in the guild, and it's just one big happy family.
Certainly. Now, for Stiches, what would you consider his command style to be? Is he a firm commander, or is he a little more lax?
He's more lax. I mean, he's really quiet, and he's the observant style. He's quiet. He serves under Necrosis Black in the Apothecary Society, in which he does most of the orders and stuff like that. And if he has some kind of thing that needs to be done, he always calls upon Stiches to do it, whether it's go out and find a relic or a reagent that the apothecaries may need. And that's one of the neat things about it, because Stiches himself is not an apothecary. You know, he doesn't make plague and stuff like that, but he's a thief. And High Executor Tyrvel saw that we could use his skills as a thief to gather reagents and stuff, and my job pretty much is to go out there and make sure the apothecaries are well supplied with the stuff they need to do what they do, and I also eliminate and dispatch any kind of threats that may threaten their work, being an assassin.
Right. Now, for Stiches, is his family still alive, or have they passed on as well?
It's unknown to Stiches at this point. He doesn't know. They were very much alive when he was executed, but he's not aware of their whereabouts and stuff in that nature. They were fairly old when he was executed, so that's kind of one of the things that bothers him is he doesn't know, and he's kind of doing that on the side, searching.
Okay, so that does play a part in your storyline with him then, is that correct?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. So, folks, when we come back, we're going to find out a little bit about Stiches in real life and find out some of the things that he does outside of WoW. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And so, Stiches, talk about real life a little bit, and what do you like to do outside the game?
Well, I'm just your average blue-collar family man. I mean, I have a fiance, I have 2 beautiful daughters that take up a bit of my time.
All right, excellent. Now, do you like to read or write outside of the game?
Just not outside of the game. Like, inside the game is my majority of my writing and stuff like that. I'm an outdoorsman most of the time. I like to, fish and hunt, and I shoot archery. I like to shoot bows and stuff of that nature.
Oh, wonderful. How long have you been shooting bow?
I actually picked it up last spring. The first time I ever picked up a bow. I went out and bought one because of a friend at work. Haven't been able to put it down since. I really enjoy it.
Now, do you plan on doing any bow hunting?
Next season, yeah. Come around October when bow season opens up this year, I'll probably be out there in a stand somewhere, out at my parents' property.
Oh, awesome. Well, good luck to you there, sir. Does that ever make you want to play, like, say, a hunter in-game?
No. I'm a rogue. We kind of like rogues and hunters, and on the PvP grounds is just like cat and mouse. They irritate me. Okay. And a favorite movie, what would you have to say your favorite movie, sir? Oh man, that'd be a really difficult one. I know that I'm an avid Game of Thrones fan. I really like that show.
Ah, okay, excellent. Yeah, that is a wonderful show. Have you read the books, sir?
I started on the first one. I haven't got too far into it.
Well, as you know, the books follow the show very, very closely, I have to say. A few things are added here or there, but I think you'll be surprised to find that the books are pretty close in proximity to the show. So, excellent. Excellent. So there you have it, folks. Someone that enjoys hunting, enjoys the outdoors, has a great family, is a blue-collar worker, but still loves to role-play, and really goes to break that stereotype of what people consider a quote-unquote role-player, and that's excellent. So when we come back, folks, we are going to get some advice from Stiches to you new role-players out there, and maybe even to some of you veterans as well. So we'll be right back with that. All right, folks, and we are back. And so, Stiches, you started role-playing about 2 years ago. When you first started, what was the hardest thing to learn in regards to role-play in World of Warcraft?
Keeping things out of character and keeping things in character. I would, randomly say something out of character and not put it into parentheses. You know how people do. They like to keep out-of-character things into parentheses, separating in-character and out-of-character thing.
Exactly. Did you have to pretty much learn on your own, or did you join a guild and they helped you along?
A little bit of both. Like I said, I started trying role-playing out in the Realm Silverhand, which was an RP server, but it was non-existent. I think there was one other person that I would meet on the Alliance side in the Cathedral area in Stormwind, and we would just basically RP together all the time, and that was my first knock at role-playing.
And so you came to Emerald Dream from there and found it a few more folks to role-play with, is that correct?
Yeah, quite a few more. It was awesome when I came to Emerald Dream. I originally came over to Emerald Dream because I met a fellow PvP player who was on this realm, so I came over here and discovered that everybody was role-playing.
Oh, wonderful. And so you got into the role-play scene here and went from there. So for a brand new person who's seeing this episode and says, you know what, I've been raiding and I'm kind of at end content, or I'm done with the PvE content, but this role-playing sounds like a lot of fun. what advice would you give to that new person that wants to start role-playing?
First, you got to pick a race and a class, and you look at the forums and stuff, see what kind of things are going on your server and stuff. It's like building a character. You want a thief, or you want a warrior, or something along that lines, and you get a group of friends together, and you just do it. You play off one another. That kind of stuff.
Well, certainly, and that is great advice because, kind of researching your character, your server, and stuff before you get started is going to save you a lot of heartache in the end, and it's going to really set a great foundation for the things that you want to do with your role play. And I think that's excellent advice, sir. And so, thank you very much for that. So, folks, when we come back, we're going to get some shout-outs from Stiches and give him a wonderful goodbye. So we'll be right back with that. All right, folks, and we are back. And for a lot of Alliance folks, this right here is what they usually probably see right before they die. Is Stiches standing over them with the daggers drawn. So excellent. Now, sir, who would you like to give a shout-out to tonight?
Well, first off, I'd like to give a shout-out to my beautiful fiancée, Erin. I love you to death. She's very patient with my WoW addiction. I want to give a shout out to my two beautiful daughters, Hallie Jean and Leah May. Give a shout out to all my Defiler brothers out there. You guys make this game so awesome. I love and enjoy my time with you guys.
All right, well, excellent. Yeah, it's always wonderful to have someone that supports you in the hobbies that you enjoy, and because if they don't, it certainly makes it a lot more difficult. And again, the Defilers of Arathor, folks, if you haven't seen that episode, do check it out. They're a wonderful guild, and as you can tell, they accept wonderful role players just like Stiches here, who has done a fantastic job tonight and has been so wonderful learning all about his history, a little bit about his role play, a little bit about him, and some advice for you new role players out there. So thank you so much, sir, for taking the time and patience with answering all of Turwinkle's pestering questions tonight.
No problem. Really appreciate what you do, Turwinkle, for the community and everything that you do.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So, folks, with that, we are going to see Turwinkle back at Light Hope's Chapel with our final thoughts on this wonderful role play all about Stiches, the undead rogue in the Defilers of Arathor. We'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks. Well, we made it safe and sound back to the Light Hope's Chapel. And boy, Turwinkle, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Sure.
You bet. So let's give Stiches a big thank you, sir.
I am in your debt.
We certainly are. So, folks, if you like this episode, click that like button. If you'd like to comment on this episode or on any of our previous episodes, please do so below. Let us know what you liked and let us know what you didn't. And finally, if you'd like to subscribe, well, we would love to have you. So hit that subscription button today. Well, excellent job, Turwinkle. All your questions right on point, sir. And Turwinkle, we will see you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Turwinkle. Bye-bye.